Good morning and welcome back to another episode on the Coin King channel. I am your host, Down the Crypto TA. We got a bounce. We did take the liquidity that was sitting right here around the golden pocket, so that helped a lot. Once we took the liquidity that was sitting near the golden pocket, that really helped a lot with us getting a bounce up. We are above. We opened as an inside bar on the daily time frame, so we're above the previous day low, and we were approaching the previous day high. But that's also where we have the value area high of the range we've been in now for a few months. So we're at some major resistance in here. I think this is roundabout where we were trying to get to yesterday. Um, in my attempt to take a long in here. I finally caught it. I finally caught it after we took the liquidity down here. I entered the long again, which win big, lose small. So small loss, big win right now. I've already locked in some profit as we came into the 786. I went ahead and locked in some profits there. And I'm holding the rest of the trade. Now we are building the liquidity that is below us. So just keep that in mind. Coming back down here, we have this section of liquidity here below the previous day low. Let's move over here so we can see. So we talked about the double bottom liquidity right there. We also have this liquidity that's sitting over here. So that is on the table should markets decide to turn around right now. Again, resistance near the near the value area high for the range. And also that was the 786. Just a lot of major resistance where we're at right now. Um, and then of course the 786 down here, that would be the next level right here. I've marked it out because the point of control is going to be down here where we have the 786 open at. Okay, so we're going to have the 786 there, and with the point of control, I think it's slightly below this 786. And so, like I said yesterday, when you have liquidity sitting so close to a fib level, markets are more likely to go for the liquidity. So they'll run straight through the fib level. So we'll just need to have a little bit of patience there. I had zero patience yesterday, but I'm so back, baby. I'm so back. So back. Like I'm a loser. No, I'm doing okay now. Doing okay now. Give me just a second. I keep having issues here with. All right. I think I got that fixed. All right. There we go. So, yeah. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. But, once again, just going to repeat myself all over again right here. 786 rejection. This is the one coming from this high here to our low here. So 786. Also, again, it is the value area high for this range right here that we have. And don't forget that we got that bounce off of the VWAP yesterday that mentioned that was sitting down here as well. Aside from the VWAP, another thing I noticed, but VWAP was good enough for me right here, is the ascending trend line that covers the low. Where we at? Right here. So connecting array, that low and that low, gives us that bounce right there. After that, it's just lows. It's just lows. So we got the I marked out the value area low here at the bottom of our major range, ascending trend line down here. So you're gonna have the golden pocket, which is pulled from this low here to this high here. And that's going to be value area low, and also standard deviation 1 of the VWAP bands. Okay, so that's going to be there. Standard deviation 2 is going to be down here at this 786, and of course the lower part of the range, if that's still going to be a thing, because Daily isn't looking so hot right now. So there are concerns. There are concerns that we could roll over, could be rolling over here instead. We'll continue to watch for that. Like I said, possible we could just, get a double bottom, maybe take this liquidity right here, and then we get a run up. Just pairing that with the USDT dominance, which would be the inversely doing the same thing. Hopefully that's it, and we're not running over a whole lot more. I was looking at options, but that stuff changes from week to week, day to day. Right now it is. Um, you have a lot more calls than puts, but it's really about 50-50. Like, you don't have the aggressive shorting with the options, but um, I would love to see more aggressive calls. So we have to look at that as well, along with, our standard, our traditional Bitcoin, decentralized exchanges like that. Also CME, which we did put in a couple of gaps. That was what I was. It was something I was like, I forgot what I was about to do yesterday, and it happened to be that I was going to go back and look at CME, but I did notice CME yesterday, a gap that we left behind up here, and that was what we filled in, trying to get into this area right here. So if I go down to CME, so yeah, it was this gap right here I was looking at. And before I ended the stream, I couldn't remember, like, what is it that I was like, what is it that I was about to show you? And it slipped my mind. The moment it came into thought, it slipped my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't remember what it is I was about to do. But I was going to go over here and show you guys the gap here. That's why we put in a little inverse head and shoulder down here too. You notice that? But this structure right here, I'm not a big fan of this structure through here. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the structure through here. But just give us one more bounce, please. Give us one more bounce. Hopefully we'll be able to get in here. Or maybe we'll wake up. Well, CME will be different. But come back and back test the scene of the crime. That's going to be our golden pocket. We haven't really put in a lower high just yet on like our mid time frame, like the 4-hour time frame. We haven't done that yet, so I expect for us to do that. We just haven't done it yet, so we'll see if we get that. If they just want to roll it on over on us, they're trying to roll it over on us this morning already. But this gap that's up here, that'll bring us back to the scene of the crime, which would be, like I said, about the golden pocket, 786. You don't even have to get into that gap, but just get us back up there so we can really get that short, right? Really get that short, because we don't have it. We don't have it. Get rid of this one now. All right, hopefully this can hold again here. VWAPs from the range here. See if we can't hold this again. Try again, but the structure doesn't look nice. Structure doesn't look nice at all, fortunately. We've broken that ascending trend line. I know that much. I was actually liking the 2-hour, but looks like we just lost. Yeah, like I said, why me? Why would I come on? We've already broken that. And even if I do it like, let's see, if I do it like this, yeah, we've broken it. It doesn't matter how I draw it out. Let's leave it like this and see if it's just a wick. Got like 3 minutes left on this candle. We'll go with this. Let's go with this. I was trying to be wise. I just closed out a long position that I had over on BTCC. And I was like, yeah, it's coming down. I'm gonna jump back in the long again. It's like I don't want a round trip. Let me try it again. Might hold this support down here, but it's not holding right now. So let's see. Come on, Bitcoin. But I had just trying to recover. I'm trying my best to recover from day before, but I had just closed this out. And then I was like, yeah, we might hold support. So I'm gonna jump back in. I'll jump back in. So it's down slightly, but that's the one that I had just closed out right there on BTCC for 67% gain on that. That was pretty decent. I also closed out one close to partial profits on Blowfin. Took some partial profits on Blowfin, which was a 74, which I really snagged the bottom down here. Really snagged the bottom. And it wasn't an easy catch either. Let me just say. It wasn't like I was a genius when I caught it. But that's that. So I closed out half of that position right there, and I still have the other half open on here. Also, gold. Now we're coming down a little bit on gold, but remember gold yesterday when we looked at it, and I added to my gold position yesterday, and it wasn't a good add at that time. It came down a little bit more, and then we started looking at that 26 EMA, and I'd be danged if we didn't bounce directly off of that 26 EMA. But by the time I looked at it, because I was over here focused on Bitcoin, I was slightly behind in grabbing the exact tap, but that's okay. That's okay. When I say I'm back, baby, I am so back. I grabbed that gold yesterday. I grabbed that gold long yesterday. So up a little bit right here. We did drop down slightly off of gold, but nonetheless, that was, yeah, nice little catch on gold. And it tapped it perfectly too. It tapped it perfectly. So it was like we looked at it when we looked at it yesterday. I was like, okay, we haven't traded below. We haven't traded below this. We haven't traded below here. That was the last thing I said because we was at the last line of defense for the Bollinger Band, which was the the 20 SMA, which is why I added to my long position. But that brought my my average cost up, and gold just started to sink a little bit more. So I had to close out the loan so I didn't get back the profits that I had already secured. So I had to close it out because it had flipped negative, a little bit negative. And then, yeah, it tapped it so perfectly and got that bounce away. And the reaction on the lower time frame was just stellar, just stellar. So I have it over here. I was last looking at this little triangle formation in here that we got the break to the upside from right here. Close that down. So we had this right here. I had to do it like a line chart because it looks kind of weird if I don't, you know. But yeah, and then we got that breakup, and now we got a little double top in here. Okay, a little double top in here, but the reaction was beautiful, beautiful in here. And I realized something else that I did wrong in here too on gold, which was I still had I had this fib pulled right here, and then I went back. I had this fib pulled right here, so you can see where technically we did hold that 786. We dropped to a line bias. We held it, but I went back and I changed it and just pulled it from I pulled it up to this high right here off of, yeah, this is low right here. And then that identified this as the golden pocket as well. So that's just the exact tap on that 26 EMA where you see this sitting at, thinking that it can come back up here into these lows right here, possibly even back here. Because we talked about the measured move for the bear flag in here, which was at 786. That was the measured move for the bear flag, but then we just kind of rolled over a little bit more past that 786, and that's when I had to make that decision. Little rejection I'm noticing here too, guys. I'm talking about the double top from our ascending trend line here that we broke. So a little bit of rejection coming from that also. If we continue down here on gold, I will lock in some profits on that. But if we continue down on gold, then of course I'll be looking down here at this next ray here. I would end up pulling this fib down a little bit lower, maybe to the start of the situation. That's also kind of weird how it plotted, but that also being like the VWAP too. Like if I was, it's so weird. Let me see if it does the same. Well, no, we talked about that trend line right there too yesterday, and also I forgot I had this diagonal support in here. I didn't talk about it, but it was on the chart. But the support level that was in there as well. But kind of weird, like right in here, like if I'm plotting a VWAP here off of this low right here. See how it plots it kind of weird? It drops it pushes it all the way up here, but that's also VWAP right there. So it held VWAP as well. So interesting. I'm gonna jump back over here on Bitcoin. Just wanted to bring that to your attention. And we were trying to find some money yesterday, and I hate when it happens when we're not on stream together. But sometimes I can tell you better than I can show you. And it'd be like that sometimes. It tell you better than I can show you. Just like me trying to rush yesterday into the position, but saying, hey, maybe just wait for that liquidity to get grabbed because we're sitting so close to the golden pocket. And anytime fibs are sitting at lows, it's really the worst. It's really the worst. It's troublesome when fibs are sitting at lows versus fibs sitting at support levels. Let me find out what's going on with the stream, see if anything is happening over here. It might just be, okay, all right. I think we're okay. I just saw one of my other screens was just spinning. But yeah, so that was good. Got that liquidity, and I just want to take this one away because it's a little bit extra noise for me. Like I told you yesterday, I didn't mark out the liquidity stuff that was in here. I just unless it's kind of like equal highs and stuff like that, I really don't mark it out. But I know that we have the liquidity that's through here, so hopefully we'll get through here and get to this golden pocket. Let's get to this golden pocket. That'd be great. I do have the liquidity marked out up here, but I don't know if we get that high again. I just really don't. I really don't think so with that, but time will tell. Time will tell. I mark them out in white like that. Like I'll change it a little bit so I'll know that liquidity was taken. But I do want to, I'm leaving it on the chart because I know we can revisit it. And then of course the previous day low down here. What I'm doing over here is whenever we start to range, whenever we put in like inside bars, and I'm looking at it from higher time frames, so you can see like I mark them out like what time frame I'm actually looking at when I do that. So I'll add a fixed range, and then I'll drop a VWAP on it also. Something I'm about to popularize. I like it. I like the setup of that, and it tends to get respected. If I do it from the 15-minute, then I have to drop down to a 1 minute time frame, something lower. But if you got a range from a higher time frame, pretty cool. I don't see anything right now. Nothing right now. Like I said, this structure is kind of bearish. It's not kind of bearish. It is bearish. Structure is bearish. and then we came to the high here. So we have the bear dips here on the 1 hour time frame. Let me say that also before I ramble on too much. We do have the bear dips against this high right here. You can also see it from right in here from the 1 hour time frame. So we're RSI is a little bearish. Got the little SFP right there also, which was the other thing I talked about in the 4 hour time frame, getting the SFP from the low, RSI curving back up below that low in the 4 hour. But we had the bull divs in here. It just seemed like it just wasn't going to work out. Yeah, we had the bull divs in here. We got this push up initially, which we ended up putting in the bear div there. I had to move this line here, and that's what I said to you yesterday. I'm going to have to move this line right here. But that's how we came up. We still came down a little bit more, but you can see how we held the top of it then. And off to the races we went. So probably coming down here for this liquidity into the 786. I really hate to say that because I really don't want that. I really hate coming back below this previous day. Well, did I change these over here? I don't think I changed it over here. Let me see. No, I didn't. Forgive me. I need to adjust this. I have an indicator to highlight this, but I got a line of indicators. And me adding one more is just not what I want to do. So there we go. All right. Again, that's this liquidity right in here. If we're going to make that drop all the way down here, I'm not taking a new short right now. I'm actually not even interested in shorting again until we get in here, but it's a little too late if you wanted to short this. In my opinion, I would say it's too late. Like your stop would be all the way up there. Unless, I mean, it's like 30 something minutes left on this candle. Unless your stop was up here and you started to lock in and move your stop to break even, it's a little too late. Let's see if there was anything else down below here other than, like I said, these two. Which, I don't know about that, but unless it's that, definitely this over here. Now I can say we have this liquidity right in here. It looks a lot more enticing now. Yeah, the previous day high liquidity. All right, I was gonna draw another little thing over there, but I'm just gonna go off of that line right there. We'll use this stuff. That's what we're already looking at. So there you can see how we flip back up this low here yesterday. It's like a bear flag, doesn't it? Hopefully these VWAPs will hold again. Hopefully. I'll look for us to range again. So I really need to see something like that, as opposed to little V-shaped stuff. Might be a little bullish div. Let's see if we can get that bounce off of here. Take a look at oil too. Let's see. Polar SPY is just Polar SPY is just nuking. All right, let me see about oil. Ciel, crude oil. All right, cool. We might have just missed this. I haven't traded oil. And it looks like we just missed it because we've been bouncing off of this zone right here repeatedly. Repeatedly. It's been our bounce zone right here. Can we come back for this? I'm gonna just delete these. Eventually they'll take that, but yeah, this has been the bounce zone right here. Can't really tell you how I can't, yeah, delete that too. But if we lose this, they do come back down here and take this right here, probably come back into this right here. You can see what that number is. It's about 86 to 83 right here. So this could be a zone for it to come back into. Um, should, should, because oil is so volatile. I haven't ever traded it for that reason. It's very volatile. Um, come back in here and want to take any of this right here because this is really nice down here if they want to make some money off of it anyway. And come back down here. Otherwise, be looking forward to get into this up here. Which I think I did all of this from a monthly. Yeah, I used the monthly time frame to draw out those levels, so that's why they're working pretty decently here. But good luck with that. Kind of bearish. It's kind of bearish. It's kind of bearish. We're probably going to be really slow this morning. It's gotten to where it's only when market opens that price action. It's either you catch me catch it early in the morning about 4 o'clock. It's 4 a.m. or it's 9:30. It's that simple. Sometimes it's around about 3:30, but it's either from what I noticed because I'm always up at that time. It's usually about 4 if you want to catch something. I live in the U.S., so good old Georgia. I think we're gonna range this weekend after the big move down. Salty. You're not being salty with that, are you? So lame. I'm so lame. Yeah, I think the weekend will just be kind of range bound myself too. I think whatever's gonna happen, it will happen today, and then after that, yeah, we just kind of range. Um, range or fall. They might, I don't know. They might choose to nuke us. Or was it the last? No, no, not the last weekend. I think the last weekend we got a pump to the upside or something. Bears might come out of the woodwork and try to nuke us too. I want to say I know. I don't know. I hope I don't have to trade over the weekend. I know USDT dominance. I don't think USDT dominance just goes sideways in here though. I don't think that it'll do that for the next 2 days. But we'll see. It is a daily chart, so I mean we'll see. Because we're close to our resistance yesterday. Came really close, and it's happening into this resistance zone right here. If it's going to if it's going to break out of here over the weekend, then I do think that maybe we double top again. Maybe, I mean, maybe we double top in here. If we're not double topping in here, this last little leg right here of resistance, we go into price discovery on USDT dominance. I don't think we're going to do that. I do think Bitcoin is preparing for a bigger move, a larger move than just the yeah, I'm not going to give a number. I take that back. I'm not going to give a number, but I think Bitcoin is preparing for a larger move. It's just whether or not it takes place before we get down here to take this liquidity, or if it's after we take this liquidity down here. We'll be down here for Bitcoin. It's up here for USDT dominance, which, like I said, to put USDT dominance and price discovery past this point. This is a bearish pattern through here. Biggest resistance level before we get to that is here. Pardon all my circles, all my circles. I expect for this to break down. I just expect for it to break down, and then that'll give Bitcoin a bigger move. I think it'll catch a lot of people off guard. I think we're all a little bit. I'm not overly bearish. I'm not overly bullish either. I would like to see us push up a little bit higher because it helps our altcoin bags as well. If we're doing that. It's a lot more difficult now. Oh, your take profit was front run. Oh, by $10. Ah, dang. Was it a Bitcoin take profit? There's nothing like having your TP being front run. That's for sure. Oh, you're in a short. Oh, that's a good short you took. That was a good short you took. Yeah, that was a good short you took. I thought about it, but I said I only want to trade in one direction right now because I already have a short up here. But that was a good freaking short. The full DF playing out a little bit off that VWAP. And this is the one that's coming off of, this is the only one that's been rising too. Is this one? And that's the one from the last zone that we put in a little range at. It's this one. Held us up twice, right here, right here. This one was holding it down a few times, coming through here. It's the one that's starting to rise. So I'm gonna keep my eyes on this one. In fact, let me make this a little bit of a different color. Just a little bit different. Let's go to lighter blue. My chart looks so noisy. I know it do, but I'm experimenting with this thing right here because I'm really finding it quite useful. I'm not trading a lot, but once I do start, I'm gonna have to study it a little bit more. Just seeing how well it's gonna work. I can start taking some of the noise off the chart. Um, but so far, I'm kind of feeling it so far. That's a rejection point. Oh. It could, because that's some pretty decent liquidity being built right below here. Pretty decent liquidity being built right below here. So I don't want it to come back down. That's all. I don't. I'm trying to get up here right now because if we can get in here, then I'm definitely gonna pick up a bigger short. Because the short I have right now is I've taken a lot of TP out of it. And if I'm wrong, then we'll take the liquidity above there. Um, but I would love to just get into here. And I'll probably scalp something right here. I will do that too. Like if we get into here and it looks like we're going to reject in here, I will scalp like a short scalp through here, previous day high, if we can get up there. And I hope we do. Hope we do. So I might be enticed for something. Just say that they can manage to get into here. Definitely gonna be looking at. I can't have that much of a. I had to make this a lot smaller. I'm gonna have to zoom out on a. Yeah, there we go. Something like that. And then if they decide, if we don't take out these lows right now, that'd be a good target to come back into, to take out these lows in here. They just let us keep coming up. So I will consider something like that if we can get that. And then I'll consider, actually, let me just use the one that I already have right here. Then I'll consider something in here too, which hopefully will be more so. Something like that. We'll be forced to wait. I wouldn't mind those two. This is about where that gap is at though. So might have to push this up or something, but I like this back test and this PDH right here. It'll be somewhere in here. Let's put it like that. It'll be somewhere in there. What's the indicator I'm using? Yeah, it might come for the lows. But Salty, I want you to leave here salty today because we're not coming for these lows yet. Either I'm gonna have to take your name and be salty because I'm not trying to get into these lows just yet. I'm trying to come a little bit higher. I'm trying to fill my long bag. But I'm not. This is just the fixed range. It's the anchored VWAP and the fixed range volume profile. That's all I'm using right here is that. So what I'm doing is anytime I see like a inside bar range, like this right here is coming from the 1 hour time frame. If I should let me do it like this. Put these two on. So you can see this section right here at this low. This is where we put in this little range. I had just deleted it off the chart too, but this range right here, before we broke out of the range anyway, it was this range right here. So once I can identify what coiling, then I just take I take an anchor VWAP and I take the fixed range volume profile. So I just doing that. Yeah. So I just do that to it, and I add the anchored VWAP onto it from where the range low is at. Sometimes it could be a range high, but that's all it is. That's simply it. Whenever I can identify a range like that, I'm just plotting the fixed volume and then I anchor VWAP to it. And that's the one that sent us up right here. So that's the only VWAP one that's moving. And then you see the other ones in here, like, let me delete this part right here. And you see the other one, which is this range right here. So we had this range right here. And some other bar right here. And so it's just a repeat of that again. And I just want to mark out that range right here. Just want to mark out the range. I don't drag it past the breakout. Once we break down below it or break up from it, that's the end of that range. When you're closing outside of it, that's the end of the range. Then I just add the VWAP onto it. You can do it from the low or the high. It doesn't really matter with the VWAP, but that's what you're seeing. So that's what you're seeing over here. Oh, let me get rid of the range. But wherever I can spot a mother bar with a couple of inside bars, that's how I do mine. My ranges. Other people do it differently, but that's not a range to me. I mean, somebody may find this whole thing right here to be a range. Not for me. I like inside ranges personally. That one came from the 4 hour. Had a big 4 hour range. And that anchor got plotted off the top. And then you can see how at some point these won't matter. So if you're looking at it, you know how I know a lot of people expect for if you have a range, you go from the come back into the low, then you're expecting to get back up here. It doesn't always happen. And then this gives me another base case by plotting the WAP on it. Gives me another base case for when it doesn't reach back up there. Rejection, 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 and now support, support. It's experimental. It's very experimental, but I like it. Yeah, it seems powerful. I have to keep back testing it though, before I full on use it for myself for trading. But so far, it's been nice. It's been nice looking at it. It's been nice looking at it. Let's go Bitcoin. Looks like we're just consolidating sideways though, but I mean, if we take out your low, we might keep going. We'll mark it out. It is good liquidity. Then we're gonna have this liquidity, but like I said, that'll be here. This previous day high. It is good liquidity though. And then there'll be this liquidity right here. It's really close. Yes, it's a tundra of liquidity building up below us. see if there's any confluence around one of these levels. I know this low is like the main liquidity right now at the low. This one. Got a lot of shorts piling in here. Fuel the short squeeze higher. Hmm. Yeah, if we're zoomed out on a 48 hour, that liquidity up there, the one that's closer to that prior day high, some pretty decent liquidity up here. If we're in the last 24 hours, then that low is really the most enticing. I guess if it'll load. Wow. Would wait until I wanted to show it. Okay, it said not today. Okay, here we go. Put it back on 24. Yeah. So our low bounce is pretty decent down through here. This is everything I have marked out already. We're rejecting. A little slight rejection. Really need that 4 hour to come through, give us that extra push. Two-hour looks decent though. I like the 2 hour. The 2 hour suggests we'll take this liquidity right here and then we might fail. That's what the 2 hour suggests, unless we flip this right here. The 2 hour leans towards giving this liquidity right here for possible rejection. Then we can look at liquidity down here being taken afterwards. The 2 hour, I like the 2 hour. Oh, they're shorting here. I hope they get wrecked. No, I don't. I don't hope anybody gets wrecked. Forgive me. It's a bad joke because I really hope no one gets wrecked. But we all can't win, right? Ooh, if they keep shorting, they might get squeezed, though. That's all I'm saying. If the 2 hour is correct, anyway, if what I see for the 2 hours suggests that we take this liquidity right here and then we fail. Yeah, a short squeeze. Uh-oh, something isn't coming up. What is my screen doing? I don't know if my screen is lagging behind or what. Like my screen might have been lagging behind. Yeah. Like I said, the 2 hour looks like we come here and we take this, and then we might have a problem. Like we'll start to struggle at this top up here for that liquidity. Yeah. I'm watching the stream from a different thing. It looks like this is lagging behind. I hope it's really not, because I know that we long moved past looking at the liquidity from the liquidity heat map over there on coin glass, and I know it looks like it's lagging behind a lot, but it suggests, like I said, 2 hours suggests we take this liquidity right here, and then we start struggling. We might struggle from there. That's what the 2 hour suggests. If I do this based on that 2 hour, and then maybe we can get in here and take this liquidity down through here. which isn't a bad thing. It's actually fuel. And I'm gonna have to let it take it first and then see the rejection come in to figure out where the top would go at. But it could just be a wick through here to take that. Let's see the 2 hour. Let's see what that high looks like on the 2 hour. Unless I see something shift on the 2 hour. But if I sync it and lay out. This suggests that we'll come up here around about this previous day high. And then that's the liquidity right here. So that will push us into this white line right here. That's what I'm thinking. And then we could come back down and take that liquidity. I like the 2 hour enough to do that. Bottom side of the cloud is here at previous day high. But we could push back into this. Take that. Give it a shot at that point. I will give it a shot up there. We're getting there. Let's see. Just kind of leave this hanging on the chart. Worst thing that can happen is it gets up here, start trying to short it, and then too many shorts in, and then they squeeze it and break through, which I won't be upset about coming into here at all. So in this case, I'll likely shrink my position size. Just in case. 50 is all the way up there. 382. 382 is right in here. 382 rejection would be bearish. That say a lot about the direction of Bitcoin. If we reject from the 382, because that's all we've been doing on the daily time frame is basically 382 so far. I think that's it. I know we did, but 382, 382 is right here. I think that's my 38. Yeah, 382. Uh-oh. But yeah, 382 rejection is not good. Move down, coming, and get more shorts in and squeeze it out. I like that idea. I like that idea. Oh, nice. Squeeze some shorts. Gotta really squeeze those shorts. I mean, we dropped pretty significantly, so I would assume that we could get a little bit more in. I mean, I'm probably thinking head and shoulders right here, which does volume support it. Mm-mm. What are you using for order flow, Salty? I'm assuming you're talking about this higher low right here. Mhm. I feel like if we're not taking the lows, then it's simply a short squeeze. The market's intent is to go lower, especially when they're taking liquidity from the top. Maybe their intent is to go lower, but the fact that they're not taking the lows right now is they're doing a short squeeze and aiming for liquidity first, and then they'll send it down. Usually, when you start dabbling at liquidity at the lows, you're finding support somewhere, like you're trying to find fuel to push higher, because that's the actual direction we're trying to go in, is higher. But if we're not taking the lows, then we're just trying to squeeze. It's a short-lived squeeze that would be forced to roll over. We did that now, it would look like a head and shoulder. And don't subscribe to the head and shoulders. Don't subscribe. Let me just see what that would look like if it were. And we don't have like a determined breakdown level. No, don't want it. It has a pretty good neckline though. Just looking at that, we just bounced from. Let me, let me do it like that. That was a pretty good, some pretty good catch point. Send it higher. Oh, Lord. Yes, I'm long. I'm long from the low. Yeah, I'm long from this low right here. That's why I'm trying to go higher. If I had like a really good short, I have a short, but I've taken, I only have like 10% left on that short, so it's not, paying me out as much. If I had a really good short right now, I'd be looking for lower personally, but I don't, so I'm really hoping that prices would go a bit higher in here. Plus, we sold off pretty significantly too. Uh, I know we have the bear dip on the 1 hour and all that good stuff. So, I mean, it's less favorable for me at this point, and I realize that. But uh, yeah, I would have to lean on the basis of a short squeeze to get higher in here, just to take this, just to really, I like to see this golden pocket tap, but it's not a bad 2 hour time frame. It really isn't. It can fail, but it's not a bad 2 hour. It's a lot suggesting that we could. Let's take away the drawings for a sec. Uh, take a look at EMAs. See, even up here to this point here where we have the 400 at, that puts us at what, the previous day high. Yeah, see, that puts us at the previous day high. A lot points to the fact that we could just at least get here and probably fail. I look at it from a 1 hour perspective, be about the same thing right here, which this would be the well, previous day high probably be a little bit lower, like right in here. But this is that same liquidity right here. Oh, no, 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 it's up here. But the previous day high is right here. We could at least do that. Like this can hold and push us into this, and then it's a lot of resistance right in here. So a good fail zone. It's a good fail zone. And the structure says that, I mean, this is a counter structure, which means, will be something I'll be looking for to roll over. We get in here, I will short. We'll short it. I will make an attempt, at least make an attempt. Let's see that from a 2. We're definitely still bearish. Definitely still bearish. I just hope we get up there. Well, for myself, I hope we get up there. I know you're short already, and that's a stellar short. It's a really nice short you have there. And then that kind of made sense too. Just looking at that as a potential neckline, which what measured, was it here or was that? Say if that's the case. For that liquidity that's down here, and if that's the case. This taps was just way too perfect. Oh no. Let's see what happens here. It'd be sad if we just stay here until market opens, right? Like we just don't make a decision yet. We stay in between here and here until market opens. That'd be crazy. Uh, this little flag right here. It's like a little triangle. It's not perfect, but we got something like that happening. Don't really tell us anything, but drop on 1 minute. This range is so small. It's really petty. Candle bars are a bit tiny. I don't know how I feel about it. It is quite tiny. We are hanging out more at the low. That would suggest to me that we would break down from it. I could have taken that right then and there. Oh, yeah, we were just hanging out at this low a little bit too much. We weren't actually engaging with this up here. All the pressure was down here. Even that VWAP rejection right there. And that line was a little bit too perfect for a head and shoulder. Dang. Let's see. Well, that range is over, so that's done now. Get rid of that. Salty, yeah, that was a little bit too perfect of a tap right here. It was just too perfect. The third tap, that's where it legitimizes the trend line. Tapping it again would be a break to the downside. That would probably imply the measured move to take the liquidity from this low down here, and that would just really suck for me. Uh, way it's just sitting there. This makes me feel like it just like, elevator down. Yeah, we probably wouldn't hold this again. Yeah, that would, mm, yeah, elevator down, maybe. Should I say I'm happy for you, Salty, if it goes in that direction, though? Uh, looks three wavy. I mean, three wavy would be correct if, the drop to the downside was like five waves down, uh, three waves up, so wave two, and then I mean, that would have been nicer. Like we didn't even do the 382. Like I said, 382 would it's still bearish, and 382 was where sitting up here just a little bit more. Did we hit the 382? No, we didn't. We didn't even hit the 382. 382 would have been right in here. I mean, but it doesn't have to come to the 382. But that would have been great. Yeah, it could be disastrous. It could be disastrous. If you're referring to this as the three wave right here. Which might be head on. Hey, that would be nice though. So one to one right there as well. That would be really nice though. One to one. 382. Previous day high. VWAP. Liquidity. Let me do that again with the 786 and stuff off too, so it doesn't. It's about to break down. Take that away. That would have been really nice. Yeah, this won't hold this time. I know that. We just looking at it too. uh, I did TP right here though. So I took profit as soon as we tapped that. Took a full profit off of BTCC, and then I took a partial profit off of Blowfin right here. I think that's still, yeah. So I took a, oh no, that's all, that's gold. That's gold. I did get a partial profit out once we came into this 786. I got a partial profit out. I should reconsider closing the entire thing out. I can always open a new loan, right? Which is what I attempted to do on BTCC, but that's um that's out of the money right now. Because I was hoping we wouldn't take this down here. Um, and so far, I mean, I still got a chance, but it's slim. It's slim. Could close out the whole thing. Could close the rest of this. Okay. Just think about it. I'll do that. I still got like still up. Still got the rest of it open right here. So that's the mark price for the rest of it, which is still up, you know, relatively decent. I guess if we break through here, then I'll close it. Just secure that. So that would imply that we can get down here to take this liquidity. If I'm wrong about taking the liquidity down here, then I just have to find a new long entry. Yeah. My stop loss is at break even. Um, and I'll be taking a chance though. I mean, yeah, I just hate the round trip, the rest of that whole bag. There's no better entry than that. Like really, like one heck of an entry. I can drop this trend line because I know that it's the VWAP. It's the same line um, that I'm looking at right there. So once it, yeah. Uh, let's see. It totally broke momentum on the 1 hour. I guess it depends on how you look at it, but we did. You can see after we did that little snipe, we're back to a solid white right now. Unless we start to chop, but we're back to a solid white. Definitely broke down through here. I think that was good enough right there. Resistance with the bear div. With the bear div. That will break straight through that, obviously. Liquidity. Through that. I don't like that. I'm kid myself. Just wait it out. But if we do, Salty, I think if we do break down through here, if it does, then I will have to exit out of that position a little bit more. At least take another half out. If I don't close it all the way out, at least take another half out. But we're in no man's land right now. It looks like down though. I won't lie. You know, I swear I love that 2 hour, but um, it favors the Bears right now. So I'm gear up to just take another 50 out. That's gonna be the case. Yeah, it's a free trade right now. I made some bad choices yesterday in my decision to be greedy, because I was sharing yesterday how I waited on this entry here. Like I could have taken it from down here, which was the golden pocket tap, and I did on BTCC take it from down here, but on Blowfin I waited until price action came up and took this top right here to make a long entry, but then it rolled over against me and I got stopped out on that. Then I entered this one right here and I was in really nice profits on this, but I didn't take any profit from it. I was being greedy and stop loss at break even, but you still pay the fee regardless. And so I got stopped out of that. I did it again right here. Exactly. And again, I had another chance to take profit. I chose not to. And the only reason why, I mean, it didn't come back down against this one, thank goodness. And I didn't take profit in here yesterday, which was kind of stupid. I just, I was like, either it's going to run or I'm just going to give it back again. And I so happened to just think about it this morning, like I'm not going to play around with it now because we're too close to the value area high for me to play around with not taking profit. So I did take out partial right here, and my stop was already set for break even anyway. As soon as I took the position, like if it was going to stop me out, because I sniped it off of the 1 minute time frame. Um, yeah. So I don't want to be ridiculous again. That if it comes back down here, I probably would just close out the entire thing because. Uh, I didn't do myself any justice yesterday. Sports trading. Even the BTC position where I took it from here and rolled it up, I actually did not take any profit off of that one. I closed out that full BTC position today right here, but yesterday I didn't. I gave that back too. Try not to let my greed get beside me today. Actually, I'm not going to try. I'm not going to let my greed get beside me today and just take the profit. I think I need to do the exit call over here though. This isn't favorable right now. You would have given up after the second solos. Yeah. No, but there wasn't a point to give up though, because it wasn't like I wasn't sniping the entries because I was. I just wasn't taking the profits. That was my problem. It wasn't the entry. It wasn't me being stopped out. That was the problem. The problem was I was being greedy when I was in profit and not taking the profit. Now, if I was making some bad entries, then yeah, I probably would give up. But no, no bad entries. Just being greedy and not taking a profit. Like I was way too fast in the short in here, which is why I'm not really making any money from the short right now, because I TP fast. So by the time I got to my second TP, which I think was right in here, by the time I got to the second TP in here, you know, there really wasn't much left on the short position, which is why I need a good short entry right now. But I'm waiting until we get somewhere where it makes more sense for me. And sometimes I take money way too early. Well, no, there's no such thing as taking profit too early. Let me not say that. You're either making money or you're losing money. But I didn't do myself any justice yesterday. I know that much is true. The good thing, like I said, was stop loss was at break even. So it was at entry. Which one was this one? This one. It's about the 69 100 entry right in here. So this was me taking this one. Like I said, you paid a fee, of course, but that was me sniping this one. And then it ran all the way up here. I didn't take profit. I set the stop loss for break even. And so when it came back down, yeah, I didn't make any money because I could have taken the profit there, and I just didn't. Like I said, I did the same thing right here. I sniped this entry right here, and I didn't take my profit again. I set my stop loss for break even. This was the only one because it just didn't come back down there. Thank goodness. I did the same thing right here, and I didn't take my profit there either. I took a screenshot. You know how they say take a screenshot of P&Ls. I took a screenshot, like, yay, again, hit it again. I did the same thing. Well, over here I did. I took profit off of that pop right there. But even when I did this one, I did a screenshot. I didn't take profit on it. I don't have an entry problem. I have a take profit problem sometimes. So I'm trying to get a big swing. But that was a terrible decision there. I said yesterday, I will not do that again. I'm either sniping the low, or I'm not gonna try to do a structure thing again. Like that was, it looked like it was gonna go from here, and I should have moved my stop loss on there, but I saw it on the stream yesterday, and I had the stop loss sitting right here. I was like, I'm gonna just let it stop me out, which is crazy. But that's what happened yesterday. Won't do that no more. 0.86 fib level. Respect that. We definitely still building up that liquidity down below here, though. I can only hope that we do this. Give it my best. It's a little concerning, though. It's starting to really seem like they'll hold us in here until market opens. And I mean, that just bothers me a little bit. Anyway, I appreciate all of your intel, Salty. I really do appreciate it. So I mean, this is the game plan for me because I know it's 8 o'clock and I need to get ready to go. Is if we get in here to this previous day high, I'm going to see what price action is looking like here, and then I'm going to pursue an entry here if it looks right for me to get in there. Otherwise, I'll look for this liquidity here to be taken off of this high, and then I'll pursue the entry there. So these are the two areas that I'll be looking at. They're both right here together, but anything that's right in here around this point right here is what I'm interested in. This top here to where we have the previous day high, the VWAP, and then the cluster of EMAs sitting in there that suggests that we would struggle right in here. And the pattern formation itself just looks like something that, you know, is counter to price action, which I would expect for it to roll over from there. And the nice liquidity we built up down here would only make sense to come back for that liquidity. If for some reason we come up and we flip this into support, I'd be looking to take a small loss, of course, small loss, because that's what it's all about. Small losses. I reconsider the position here somewhere around this golden pocket in the breakdown zone right in here, because we do still have that CME gap. Not that price action has to go back for that CME gap. The CME gap is up here, so the gap is here. It could be a great place for consideration. I don't think that we're in a position where we're going to come back up here and take out highs or anything like that. I don't even know if we get into this liquidity up here. Like, it would be interesting if we did, but that would be a hard flip right away, right? I'm not overruling it. But we got that value area high to deal with, and that's here. So the value area high is here also, right here where we have this high here. We have the previous day high. We also actually at the previous day high, we have the value area high of the range. This is a previous day high right here, and we got this right here. So I'm really interested in shorting that. That'll be the one shot between those two areas I was talking about. That'll be the one shot right there. Or two chances right there, and then I leave it alone from there. Because if we're getting back above here, then I guess we could do the other stuff in here. But I'm taking my chances right here. That is what it's going to be. Previous day high right here with a cluster of EMAs. It looks like we would have some tundra of resistance right there if we could just get back to that. Just get back to that. It's a big resistance point. Resistance. Resistance. It's a big resistance point. So we're dealing with this node right here too. That low. Okay. This is just our area from the weekly. I don't have to have that on there, but make that darker. That's a good short. It's a good short. You either win there, you wait, either win there or come back into. We'll see. We'll see. That's my hopium that we could at least do that. That's my hopium. the daily would have to flip. Like if we, this is gonna look less like a head and shoulders in a bit though. But if we come back and we take in liquidity from this low down here, that's a full flip of the daily candle plus some. Which is, that's fine. But that is what that would be, like that daily candle. I think this is the daily low right here, right? It's the daily low right here. I think that's the daily low. The heck did I just do? Forgive me. That was so stupid. Hold on. It's the daily low. Okay. Yeah. So daily. Okay. So daily low. It's the daily low. You have to eat the tail of that whole daily low, and then sell off some more to come back into where I'm at. Uh, I'm still gonna full TP if we come below here though. So hopefully it's come up here, take this liquidity in here, then maybe come back down into here and hold, and then over the weekend, I don't know, maybe we sideways or something, eventually get into here. Never doing this. That's the best hope I can have. I'm gonna mark that out. Okay, so that's our daily low. So value area high, previous day high. And just for reference, I'll go ahead and mark this one. VWAP. All right. I love and appreciate everybody who showed up today. Thank you so much. And let's just go ahead and stream tomorrow. Because I really wonder what we're gonna do here. But this is my base case for a short right in here. If we get there, that's what I'll be looking for. I mean, we just dead if we're coming all the way back down here, but I mean, it can always happen. I don't want to count it out, but this is my base case for a short right here. But if we start to flip the area, then chances are we come into here for that CME gap. So see. We'll see. We shall yet see. That's the gap. That's the gap. That's the gap. This is the one we had filled already. So that's a long way to go. That's my plan. ETH. Got Ethereum. Okay. Let me zoom out on ETH. Go to the daily. I mean, this is basically going to look exactly like Bitcoin. I think that's the weekly high over here. Let me just see. Yeah. This thing is so much closer to hitting its top than Bitcoin. That's crazy. Good old Ethereum. Holding up above your value area high. That's great. Uh, I mean, you've already done flip support, flip resistance into support. And if Bitcoin is getting a push up, this is where Ethereum would end up coming. 2649 is the low, and then 2771 is going to be the high. Back into the resistance right in here. Got fair value gap right here. I mean, it's already, like I said, it's already flipped. I'm doing this backwards. No, that's right. That's right. That's right. I don't see any problems through here. Like it would actually absolutely just break through here and come up to here. Basically, either that fair value gap right there or it's going to stall out right here. But Ethereum looks fine in my opinion. It's already flipped resistance into support. 3 down. Let's see. Hold it inside right here. Let me just see if I can't see what's happening in this little section right here. Let's drop down to a 4 for a sec. Let me see. Bitcoin rejecting again. So I guess your base case for hope is going to be that we continue to hold the top side of this support level right here. If Ethereum is to roll over, be looking for this VWAP to hold that support. It would thrust you back inside of the range, which is, you know, not ideal to come back below the to get pushed back below this low. If that happens, though, I would look for VWAP to hold that support. gonna do this from this 4 hour range instead. Let's see what it look like for that. Hold on, let's push up here. Let's see what it look like there. And let me zoom out a little bit more. 1 hour. I mean, right now, I mean, it favors upside at the moment, not the strongest push up, but it favors upside right now over downside. It's gonna do whatever Bitcoin's gonna do though. So if Bitcoin breaks down, like I said, I would look for this VWAP to hold that support. That'll be number one because this has been like our support level coming back into here. If you're not doing that, then that's a steep fall back down here. That would be kind of steep, but it's possible. I would just look at this first. Chances of bullish divergence. Yeah, I mean, that ETH look good. Looks good to me. Thank you, Salty, so much. I mean, ETH looks good to me. Just if you're looking for a new entry on it, that's something that I will look at. You got those three areas right there. You got this value area low right here from this smaller range that we have going on right now. Um, if you lose that, then I would definitely look to VWAP. So that's, I mean, that would be my thing. I want to position myself. Let's just say that happened. I mean, you would struggle, probably have a bit of an issue right there. It didn't seem to really matter much here, but I would consider that. I mean, because it looks really good, and I think that it would continue. Like if Bitcoin is getting a push up, then this is bound to come back in here and continue higher. So I would look at something like that, and then potentially if it comes down, just look at VWAP. You know, you want to get your reactions first. You don't want to, foolishly just jump in on anything. If that's the case, I wouldn't expect to go up that high if it's taken out this over here. Maybe then you're just doing something like that. Uh, it looks a lot better than Bitcoin right now, though. I haven't really looked back at Ethereum since it hit the low. It's 1 hour. Oof. Off. Cough. 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 We dial this back. 1 hour. I'm not feeling this 1 hour. This looks more favorable. Yeah, this looks a lot more favorable right here. I'll probably lean heavy on this, but like I said, you can still watch for something like this off of this low. But I do have to go. Love and appreciate you.